Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cat and Beats, and welcome to another episode where we're going to be mixing bass in the box using Fabfilter plugins. And last time we left off, we did all the drums, so make sure to check that out. So you know how to process drums with Fabfilter. It's pretty cool, if I say so myself, or at least I think so. And this time we're going to be doing the bass, which should be a good time. So last time I already kind of got rid of a few things that I didn't think were needed, like the sub bass group that was kind of weird. And this time we're gonna basically get this main bass in here sound great and really follow the aesthetic of the track. So right now the bass sounds like this. So it's pretty good, except for it's not really in the track yet. So what I want to do is take some lo-fi-ish principles and add it to this so that we can get more of an analog sound. So when somebody says analog, it basically means less tops, more low, mid, lows. And then generally speaking, you're there. And then there's also a little bit of movement and things like that. So speaking of movement, I'm going to be using the LFOs in Serum itself and just make the patch work a little bit better. As you can see, it's just this, so that's fine. So first thing I want to do is just get the filter on and make this cutoff move around. So we'll just get the LFO tool here. Now, because it's like I kind of want to get a different vibe. So let's get it slowed down a bit, and let's not do let's do it on triplet rate. Because then it's never on the 1. And let's use this mix knob as well. Just to keep some low end. And then there's distortion and EQ. Let's just turn this off. Okay, we'll keep it like that. Okay, so I would be happy with this. Just to have a little bit more, what's it called? Goopiness. Let's also plop in a bit of noise. I think that will sound pretty good, probably. So we have a little bit of noise there, going like that. And now let's start using Fabfilter to start mixing with this. I'm going to use the Fabfilter Pro Q3. Now, back in the day with Pro Q, they had a little subtle stereo enhancer, which is this one. Let me turn down that hiss because it's a bit over the top. There we go. And with the stereo enhancer, it would take the left and the right, and it would split it into two like this. And then the left and the right have different frequencies, so therefore you would have stereo. Now, what I can do now is also make these left and rights dynamic. I'm just going to move it to where I'm going to need my my stereo. Which is pretty cool that you can make it dynamic, because it's such a gliding bass, it will be like and every single time it's like it will be more left and be more right. Anyway, let's make it upward compression as well. I'm gonna make it a little bit more dramatic because I can. There we go. And upward compression. Yes, and upward compression. Yes. Perfect. I'm going to take another Pro Q3 just to do the actual mixing part of it. Now, this sounds a bit weird, but I want to get rid of the low end. And I want to also, at the same time, put a little bit of a high shelf here and do a little bit of compression, a little bit of de-essing in a way. Just to not get too much, I'm gonna make that dynamic again. Just to not get it too over the top. I'll make one steady cut as well. You might be thinking, why would you take top end away? It's more, we're going analog. So toppity top end never really was there. Toppity top. So instead of pretending to create there was top end, what you can do is you can cut some mids out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna duplicate this and call this a sub bass. And with that sub bass, I'm gonna get rid of all this processing for a second, get a different frequency, not a frequency, different wave shape. Booty boom. Where the fuck are the waves? Oh, here they are. Okay, so bass drum one, or basically a sine wave, and let's just mess with the wave table position so we get a little bit more dirt on it, and turn off all the stuff, and this as well. Listen to that for a second. And let's also get a little bit of dirt. Tube. There we go. Alright, this is a thing that's not turned on, but that's fine. Cool, put the master down a bit. I kind of want my sub to have some sort of overdrive as well, so it kind of bleeds into this saw bass, and then generally speaking it sounds pretty good, but let's just have a little play around, see if we can mix this together. That H thing is a bit much. I think overall that already sounds pretty beefy and fat, probably a little bit too beefy and fat, but I think it's probably we're going to be going the right amount of fat there. Now, let's just see how this would mix in. I'm just going to use that Boots and Cats just to see. This saw bass is a really prominent part of the whole track, so I'm gonna push that forward a little bit too loud. Sorry, so probably got some microphone bleed there, but I needed to set the bass right. So that sounds pretty good to me already. But I want to also break out of the box of Fabfilter only. Let's use a little bit of ozone imaging after all this and push out the size just a tiny amount of this track here. I'll turn this off a second. Now with the bass. And because I know the artist really likes, what's his face? Pritz? Prada? Or I don't know. I'm super dyslexic, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But yeah, he likes that guy. So what I'll do as well is put a little bit of drift that it goes back and forth a bit. Just a tiny amount. And let's back off of the amount of cutting at the top. Yeah, I think we're probably good here, man. We're probably good. think the ozone imager is probably doing a little bit too much, but overall, I think we're okay. Just to finish everything off, I want to have a little bit of saturation. Generally speaking, it sounds pretty nice when you saturate overall. Luckily enough, we have lots of stuff to choose from. But you know what? Let's go over to the presets because sometimes, you get some distortion. You're like, man, that sounds great. I don't see any bass presets, but normally what I do is I put in a bass amp and reamp it. And generally speaking, you then really get everything to sit together. This all looks interesting, but probably not what I'm looking for. So I'll just do it myself instead. Let's pretend that we can put it through a tube amp. I'm having a look at the rest as well. Smooth. Let's put it through a smooth amp. That's a bit too smooth for my tasting. Let's go for a warm tube. Okay, it's too much top. Let's go warm tape. Nah. I think I'm gonna leave it the way that is because it sounds pretty good. And let's start introducing the harmonies. Just have a listen to what that sounds like. Yeah. I think that is pretty okay for where we are standing right now. I'll probably mess with this a little bit more once I get the harmonies in right. But I think overall, we're slowly getting towards the direction that we need to be. I am missing overall right now. I'm missing top end. So I think I went a little bit too far with the overall analog-y feel. So we're gonna have to add in some top end to those drums as well to get it to sit right. But that's for later. For now, this was the episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching me struggle. And I'll see you guys again next time where we're gonna go through the whole harmonics and re-put in, the bass and rebalance it like as we go. So rebalance the bass group, rebalance the drum group, and add some more sends and things like that. But for now, I'll leave it like this. Much love. Take care. Remember, sponsor this tiny little channel on Patreon, and then you get lots of little benefits like me critiquing your mix and things like that. So it's a good time. Take care. Peace out. Have a great day.